The Persian Empire looked unstoppable, rich, powerful, and connected across continents. But behind its wealth, for hidden economic weaknesses slowly pushed this mighty empire toward collapse. Stage 1 began with incredible prosperity. Taxes, trade routes, and vast natural resources filled the royal treasury, making Persia one of history's richest empires. The famous Royal Road linked distant cities. Merchants carried gold, silk, spices, and valuable goods, creating enormous wealth throughout the entire Persian Empire. Every province paid tribute to the king. This steady flow of taxes funded magnificent palaces, armies, and massive government projects across the empire. Then came Stage 2. Constant military campaigns demanded more soldiers, supplies, and money. Expansion became increasingly expensive, draining the empire's growing financial strength. Every new conquest required roads, ports, and permanent garrisons. Military victories brought prestige, but they also created massive long-term economic costs for Persia. As spending increased, the royal treasury struggled to recover. More resources disappeared into endless campaigns instead of supporting trade and economic growth across the empire. To cover rising expenses, heavier taxes were imposed. Farmers, merchants, and ordinary people carried increasing financial pressure, weakening the empire from within over time. Stage 3 emerged quietly. Corruption spread among local officials, reducing efficiency and trust. Wealth no longer reached the capital as reliably as before. With declining revenues and growing unrest, the Persian economy became increasingly fragile. The empire still looked powerful, but its financial foundation was beginning to crack. Local rebellions became more frequent as heavy taxes and weak leadership fueled dissatisfaction. The empire spent even more resources trying to restore order across distant provinces. Trade routes grew less secure. Merchants faced greater risks. Commerce slowed, and government income declined just when the empire needed revenue the most. Stage 4 arrived with a powerful external threat. Alexander the Great launched his invasion while Persia was already weakened by years of economic strain. The decisive battle of Gaugamela shattered Persian resistance. Military defeat exposed deep financial and administrative weaknesses that had been growing for decades. Alexander entered Persepolis, the symbolic heart of the empire. Soon afterward, its magnificent palaces were damaged, marking the dramatic end of an era. The Achaemenid Empire collapsed, ending centuries of Persian rule. A once dominant economic system disappeared faster than many people expected. Historians still debate every cause, but most agree that economic pressure, political instability, and military challenges together accelerated the empire's final decline. Strong empires rarely collapse overnight. Financial stress usually builds slowly, creating hidden weaknesses long before the final crisis becomes impossible to stop. Persia's story reminds us that wealth alone cannot guarantee survival. Lasting success depends on balanced finances, stable institutions, and effective leadership. The final lesson is timeless. When economic foundations weaken, even the world's greatest empires can eventually lose their power and influence. The fall of Persia was not simply a military defeat. It was the result of deep economic problems that weakened the empire from within. A powerful empire requires more than gold and armies. It needs strong institutions, responsible spending, and a stable economy to survive. The Persian economy reached incredible heights, but uncontrolled expansion created pressure that the system could no longer handle. Heavy military costs, inefficient administration, and internal conflicts slowly transformed strength into vulnerability across the Persian Empire. The lesson from ancient Persia is clear. Economic power must be protected because financial weakness can destroy even the greatest civilizations. From Persia to modern nations, the same pattern appears again and again. Rising costs, declining trust, and economic pressure before collapse. Empires often fall quietly before the final disaster. The visible collapse is only the last chapter of a much longer economic decline. The Persian Empire remains one of history's greatest examples of how economic systems can determine the destiny of nations. This is the four-stage fall of